Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Today we're going to take a look at the Mars Attacks toys produced for the Tim Burton film Mars Attacks. These toys were produced by Trendmasters in 1996. Trendmasters produced two lines of toys for the movie, one based on the Martians as you see them in the movie and one based on them as they were depicted in the Topps trading cards. These figures are the ones from the Mars Attacks movie and all came on these ready orange card backs. The figures that came from the Topps trading card line all came on blue card backs and are noticeably different from these. But today we're only going to look at the movie based figures. First up, we're going to take a look at the Martian Troopers. This is what three of the figures are based on. The sculpt of this is pretty good. It's got lots of detailing or ribbing in the legs and arms, and it does look pretty much like the Martians do in the movie. It's maybe not quite as cute in the sort of body proportions as the movie ones, a little bit chunkier, but it's still pretty good. The detailing on the head is excellent, really nice sculpt on the brain and lots of detail in the paintwork. You can actually remove the domes of these so you can get to the head and see sort of even better how good the sculpt is there. All of these figures are well, the Martian main characters are all based on this same mould, so it's a pretty stock figure really. The pose is a little bit annoying because it's a little bit sort of top heavy and wants to fall over the whole time, but that's because there's batteries and all sorts in the back here. All of these figures make sounds. If I press the button on the front, he'll either say something in Martian or he'll say it translated into English, so let's see what he says. That's the Martian and that's the English. And this trooper figure came with a Martian Ray Gun, as you can see here, and also a missile firing gun. Now I was always a bit disappointed with these missile firing guns because the triggers on them are so delicate. They tend to fire off all the time. Even just looking at them seems to want to set them off. So when I display these figures, I don't actually bother with these weapons because the missiles just keep firing away. So generally I just display him like so without that weapon. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Martian Leader. As you can see here, it's essentially the same figure, but they've just added a cape to him. He comes with the same sort of basic weapon and an additional sort of staff thing. Again, this suffers from the missiles being very delicate and wanting to fire out the whole time. And also, when I first got this straight out of the packet, it just the handle part of it keeps coming off. It wasn't sort of glued in place or held in place at all, so always a bit annoying. Again, you just can't really display it like with that weapon, as it just keeps wanting to sort of fall out of his hand and fall apart. So I generally sort of again give up on that one. Again, if you press the button on the front, he will make a noise, first in Martian and then in English. Oh, and this one doesn't work. The batteries have gone flat on it. He used to say we come in peace or something like that. Again, nothing amazing, but a nice little feature to have on a toy. Finally, we have the Martian Ambassador. Again, it's just the same figure. This time the cape is red rather than purple. Same gun, a different sort of gun with missiles on it, although this is the same gun that the Martian Spy Girl holds. Again, same problems on that you press the buttons on it, the missiles just fire too easily. Again, this guy will say something, so let's press the button on the front. There you go, we come in peace, and again if we press it again, he says his Martian phrase. These figures are really nice. I do actually like the sort of the general Martian figures. They look pretty good. They just suffer a little bit from sort of a few minor niggles that you would have hoped in 1996 that they would have bothered to fix, but you can't have everything. Finally, let's take a look at the Martian Spy Girl. At the time that these figures were released, this was probably the hardest figure to come by because there was only one per box, and so they sold out really quickly and were just almost impossible to find. These days they're a bit easier to come by. Obviously with the advent of eBay, you can just go on there, pick them up pretty regularly. eBay people do tend to ask a premium price of sort of £15 to £17 for a carded figure. But if you look, you can get them cheaper. I picked this one up for £5, so always keep your eyes open for bargains. Again, this figure is pretty nice. There's one variant though that a lot of people don't realise, is that some versions of this figure come with sounds and some don't. The one I have here doesn't have any sounds in it. This was bought in Japan, so it's a sort of foreign issue. It still has all of the bits in place for the sound, so there's a battery compartment there and a button on the front, but if you press the button, nothing happens because there is no batteries in there, and in fact you can see that there's nothing at all inside it. So and if you want to keep an eye out for that on the card, the one without sound comes with a green gun like this, the one with sound comes with a red gun like that. So that's a nice little sort of oddity for the Martian Spy Girl. Now again, this has some nice features that the other ones don't. First up, obviously, she comes with a handbag that you can open up, a little bit fiddly to open up, I can never do this, and her gun, the little green gun, fits inside this so that you can sort of hide it away, and it just looks like she's got a handbag. Then the best feature of all, which is something that everyone knows from the film, is that the head can be pulled off and revealing a smaller Martian head underneath. This is my only quibble with this figure, that the Martian head obviously should be the size of all the other Martian heads, not this tiny size, but I guess for consistency purposes they couldn't do that, because you want to have the female sort of spy Martian head in proportion to the body, so it's a minor quibble, but you know, these are the things that they change for toys. The head itself is a sort of little rubberized thing, so it's quite easy to take on and off. It's the sort of thing that probably will perish over time, so if you're collecting these you might want to be careful sort of how you store these figures, because that rubber may perish. The figure itself though is really nice, very sort of lax in Poseability. Basically you can rotate the arms and you can rotate the head, that's about it, nothing else moves on it, but it is a nice figure, and I do like the fact that you've got sort of a couple of little features on it, the fact that you can hide the weapon in her bag, and the fact that she's got a sort of female head that sort of hides the Martian head. This figure also came with a human-sized version of the eye ring that you see in the movie. This is one that you can wear yourself. For me it only actually fits on my little finger, but it's quite a nice little sort of well, let's say it's a little cosplay sort of addition to the pack, but it's the sort of thing that kids would like. I guess as an adult it's just something else to have in your collection. Overall though, these figures are really nice. They're getting harder to find around, but you can still pick them up sort of pretty easily on card. Loose, I've never seen one loose which is sort of complete. They've always got bits missing just because of the nature of them, and especially the plastic domes that go over the top, they've always gone. So for me these figures are well worth picking up, because Mars Attacks is a pretty classic film, one of Tim Burton's best, and I think over time these are only going to get more and more collectible, so you know, if you see them, grab them while you can. Thanks for watching.